What's going on, everybody? It's your boy 730G Weezy back with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about something for newer barbers, beginner barbers. We're going to be talking about boys haircut and regular men's haircut, and I'm going to show you how I execute this. Right now we got my boy Garrett in the chair. Before we get into this, I just want to have you guys subscribe to this channel. I just started it up maybe a couple months ago. Just start focusing on it more. I just want you guys to subscribe. Want you guys to check out all my videos, get updates when they drop. So I would appreciate if you guys subscribe to my channel. So how I approach all my boys' regular haircuts and my men's haircuts is I usually take my number 2 guard, my 1/4 inch, and I just start debulking the sides. I just take that 2 and I just come straight up the sides, not coming into the round of the head. I'm just coming straight up. Shout out to JRL. Right now in this video, we're going to be using the new JRL 2020Cs, the limited edition, the gold joints. Yo, these things are off the hook. They cut like butter. They are off the chain. If you guys haven't used them, check them out. Now that I just got rid of all that bulk on the sides, we're going to go with some clipper over comb. As you guys can notice how I'm holding my clippers, this is how you're supposed to hold your clippers when you do your clipper over comb on the sides. All right. Now, I didn't go into the crown of the head, so with my comb, I'm gonna same kind of thing. We're gonna come straight up, nice vertical, pulling that comb away from the head, still keeping that vertical look, and we're gonna come straight up. We're gonna take anything that's coming through the comb at that vertical angle, just chopping that right off. All right, now basically we're gonna do this around the whole head. We're just debulking, but just getting the number 2. We're coming straight up, not going into the turns of the head, getting your clipper over comb and holding it vertical and still going around the sides all the way around. Right now I got my 1 guard on, my 1/8. Just tapering out the bottom a little bit. Now as we move to the back, we're still doing the same thing. We're still coming straight up. We're not going into that turn of the head. I got that my pivot point right there is my occipital bone, and I'm coming straight up, not coming into the round of the head. Just keeping it straight up, debulking all that right there. Now guys, when you don't go into the turn of the head, you're going to get a natural gradients because the head is starting to bend in, but you're holding your guard flat against the head, and when the head's turning, you're still coming straight up, so you're not following the head. All right, so we're going to go straight up, debulk in the back. Again, we're just going straight up, not going into the turn. I'm just making that top line around the crown, same all the way around. Like before, I got my clipper over comb, holding in my hand, taking everything off that's in that vertical, anything that's on that flat surface right there, I'm pulling out with my comb, and I'm just taking it right off. And like I said before, we'll get my scissors later. Once we start cutting the top, we'll end up blending all that in. So any of you guys that are just starting to cut hair or coming out of school, this is the haircut that I recommend that you guys start off with. This is always, every time I get a new barber and they want to learn how to cut hair, this is my go-to right here. The number 2 coming straight up. All right, I'll get my number 1, just flip out the bottom a little bit, just give it a little taper, a little bit of gradients down at the bottoms. All right, so we'll hit all this with the number 1. We'll blend it into that 2, and we'll just keep working around the head. Now, like I said, this is the haircut that I prefer to show most new barbers. If someone was interested in learning how to cut hair, this is basically my go-to. I always tell them to do a number 2, and you know what? I won't even have them tapering out the bottom. I'll just have them hit them up with a number 2. Maybe start showing them how to line people up, how to do correct lineups, not pushing up lineups and all that, pushback lineups. Just giving them a nice, easy haircut to do. Like even right here, see I got the number 2 and I started right at the crown, but I'm coming straight up in my C-scoop motion, and see how it forms that bulk at the top. I don't worry about that because once I do my clipper over comb, it's just going to debulk that by itself. But you always want to make sure that you're keeping a vertical shape. We're going to do square shapes, nice square shape. Dominant shapes are square in haircuts. Females shapes are more rounded. So we're going to keep this square shape. We're just coming straight up, not going into that round. And that's what I'm stressing to you guys. Always hold your guards flat against the head, but don't go into the turns. When the head starts turning, we're going to still go straight up. All right. Now we got a clipper over comb. We're going to bust down this right here. We're going to take out this bulk right here. Again, you're holding your comb vertical, and we're taking any bulk that comes off. When you hold that comb vertical right there, we're taking anything that comes through that comb and we're just chopping it off. Keeping it nice and clean. So we debulk everything. After we debulk everything, we just hit the clipper of a comb around the crowns. We take all that off. All right. Like I said, if you're just starting off, I don't recommend that you taper out the sides. But for this haircut, I taper out the sides, give a little bit of gradients down at the bottom. All right. We're not really worried about the top right now. We'll worry about the top when we get there. Some people will start at the top. I like starting right here. I mean, every haircut, I'll start something different. So, as you guys can see where I just pointed that little dip in his ear, that's where I start my square off. Where they have squared off sideburns, if I just have a number 2 or 1, I take that dip inside the ear right there. That's where I make his sideburn mark. All right. Just line this up. We're not cutting into anything crazy. We're just hitting his natural line. Give it a nice little shape. Nothing crazy. Like I said, it's a boy's haircut, men's haircut. We don't go crazy. We're not giving them any enhancements or anything. It's just a regular boy's haircut. Just hit this line, make that nice and clean. And you know, I just picked that part of the ear where I do my sideburn just because it's an even mark around the head. You know, I just take that mark, I make that mark there when I do a sideburn, and on the other side, I'll do the same exact thing. Now for the back, we're not cutting in, we're just cleaning up his edge, making a nice straight line, getting that vertical line down his back. Hold down that ear. We're gonna make a nice clean line right around that ear. Nothing crazy. Don't cut up into the hairline. We're just following his natural hairline, just cleaning up that line, making it nice and smooth. Right here, I'm using the JRL 2020 Ts. Again, love the clippers, man. These clippers are off the hook. The 2020 Ts, the 2020 Cs, the 1040, the JRL. Yo, I love JRLs. They are off the hook. When I do my seminars, I let people in my classes hold my clippers, and yo, I'm telling you, these things are the truth. All right, so we're lining this up, cleaning this up. Right around the head. And you know, I didn't really skip around a lot, guys. I wanted to show you guys the whole video just so you guys saw basically how much time. Sometimes when I'm turning the chair, I'll edit it and just crop it out, cut it out, shorten up the video a little bit. But around the side, around the back, this is what I do. I usually make a mark right in the middle and then I'll work to the one side. Then once I get that side, I'll work to the other side, lining up that side. Now, I don't usually square off heads. I don't really square off. I don't really like the way that a square lineup looks on people, you know. So I'll come to one side. You know, I might square it, but then I end up cutting the corners to make it round. But for the most part, I don't square backs off. Like I said, you just tap your trimmers in the middle, boom, and then work your way to one side. After you get that side clean, you just start in the middle, work your way over to the other side. Remove any of those baby hairs that are around the neck. right, now we'll start working the other side. Like I said, we got that same point. We're just making that mark the bottom of the sideburn so it's symmetrical all the way around. I took that same mark on the other side, did the same thing. Like I said, we're not cutting up into his hairlines, we're just cleaning it up, making it nice and clean. And guys, about pressure, when you're using your trimmers, there's no reason to press hard. You don't have to press hard. If you start noticing that your customer's skin's starting to turn red, you're probably pressing a little too hard, or your blades are set too low. You don't have to press hard. You don't have to press hard. All right. So just cleaning up the C-scoop area. Like I said, we're not using any enhancements or anything, so we ain't got to worry about anything crazy like that. Like I said, it's a boys regular, men's regular. I usually execute the same haircut both ways, boys regular and men's hair regular. I execute the same way. So we'll just hit the C-scoop. All right, clean all that up. Now the sides, you're basically done. You know, the sides, you're all set. The sides, you debulked it. You went to the crown with that clipper over comb. You straighten that out. You still kept that square shape. All right, now we're just gonna wet his top a little bit. Now when you start scissor cutting the top, you wanna make sure that your hair is nice and wet. You know, he usually pushes his hair forward and flips up the front, spikes it up in the front a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna brush that up. And right at the crown, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna chop. And as you can see, as I pull the hair to the side, I'm still keeping a vertical angle. I'm coming straight up. And then I'll just work my way all the way through the hair using the same technique. You know, I'll take some more hair, line it up to that, snip it. We're going to do that all the way over the top of his head, just lining up that one side and then cutting whatever comes above that. There's really nothing to get nervous about when you guys are doing haircuts. I know when you're starting off new, it's kind of frustrating and you could be scared, but you know, you follow these directions, you'll be all right. You know, just because I was doing this video, I think it might have took like 20 minutes, but in all reality, I could snap this haircut out in 10 minutes. After you do something for so long, you just kind of get quick at it. But I understand where people come from. They get nervous about starting new things. You know, but just remember, when you're doing haircuts, you don't go into the turns of the head. We're gonna go straight up. We're gonna keep that nice square shape. If there's one thing I could stress about men's haircuts, that's what it would be. Don't go into the turn of the head. Just come straight up along the sides, and you'll be fine. You know. So we're blending in that shorter hair into the longer hair right there. My boy Garrett's looking clean. Just taking some long hairs off the sides. Even when I'm going scissor over comb over here, you still want to keep that vertical shape so you're coming straight up. Now in the back, I'm not going too short because his hair's a pretty good length up on top. You know, if you start, I got my thinning chairs right now and I'm just kind of blending. I'm just blending from that number 2 into the longer hair. But I'm not going too close to the root, because if you start getting too close to the root with the thinning chairs, you're going to start getting shorter hairs. And just remember, people, short hair pushes long hair. So you just want to come straight up, blend in a little bit, just the tips of the hair. Just getting rid of some of that dense stuff. The more dense areas, we're just blending that, thinning that right out. Now, like I said before, we're going to take care of that crown when we got to the scissors. So right now I'm blending that in, just hitting all those dense areas, thinning that out. Right here, he has some stragglers on his forehead. I wanted to make sure the front was a little bit clean. You know, I don't really go too hard with a boy's haircut. With boys regulars, men's regulars, I don't really, unless they want like them hard lines, and I'll go. But kind of right here, I just kind of clean it up. Nothing crazy, just hitting his vert. You know, he has that weird hairline up at the top where it kind of looks like an M. So I'm not going crazy, you know, just following his natural hairline, just cleaning that up, getting rid of all those baby hairs, because like I said, he's going to be flipping up his front, so you don't want a mess all over his forehead, you know, just nice and clean. Now we'll push him over to the other side, do the same thing. Pull that hair back. We're just cleaning up that hairline, not doing anything crazy, just cleaning it up a little bit, not making it too hard. Nice boy's haircut. Get him ready for some school pictures or something. You know, hit his verts, just cleaning up that forehead. Right here we got the Hunter 1114. They sent me a sample. I actually got some in my shop. Hunter 1114, guys, go follow them on IG. They got a bunch of products. They actually just sent me their clippers, so I'm going to be doing another video with that. This is the pomade. Just use it. I actually threw it in there wet, depending on what I want to do. Sometimes I'll throw it in the hair wet, sometimes I'll throw it in there dry. Just depending on the look that I need, you know. He kind of likes his hair more wet looking, so I just threw it in there wet, just brush it through a little bit. Like I said, he sticks up his front, so just point cut and giving him a little bit of texture on the front right there. Just point cutting, giving him some texture. But yeah, check out Hunter 1114. They got some great products. They got sea salt spray. They got it all. If you guys are looking for a brand, something that you want to carry in your barber shop, they better hook you up with all your needs. So there we go. Basically, real easy haircut, guys. Number 2, straight up, scissors. Showed you guys how to line up. Nice boy's haircut, you know. Kept it classy. Still looks like a young man. Yo, if I could help you guys out with anything, just hit me up. Leave comments, messages below. Let me know if you want to see any other videos. Thanks.